Hi everyone, I'm just going to walk you through how to use the progression marker document that we've created. So the literacy progression, it goes from K to 10. Everyone from a non-reader to an excellent reader can be mapped along this, so it will meet the needs of every single one of your students. You'll be able to plot all of them on one marker somewhere within these progressions. They align with the curriculum and they're evidence-based. The purpose of knowing about the literacy progressions and using the literacy progressions to help you with your programming and assessment is they provide differentiated assessment, planning for teaching, diagnostic assessment, monitoring progress over time, student self-assessment, scaffolding curriculum area learning, identifying curriculum literacy and numeracy demands. Essentially what we're saying is it will personalise learning for all your students because they can be assessed where they are at and you can know exactly where they need to go next. With the document that we've created, they've got modules that align to these lessons and they will actually help you personalise it, particularly for students with additional needs. But as said before, they can be used for all of your students. There are loads of progression markers. There are like 100, so we're just working on one section at a time. It's impossible for us to have covered everything, but we are still working on it. And we focused on identified students with additional needs, first of all, and we're just continuing to build upon this resource. We've got a partnership now with Randwick Public School, and we're actually showing their SLSOs how to build them as well so that we can create a massive library. We're going to look, so if you want to look through the progressions, if you go to the department website, they're also aligned to ACARA, so they're on the ACARA website too. You can have a look through them, just become a little bit more familiar with them, and then say, oh, actually, I really want my student to learn this progression marker. So just let us know and tell us and which student, and depending on our resourcing times and our priorities and who we're looking for, we will try and get that onto our list in terms of which markers we address first and next. I'll just have a quick look at what we've got already. So on the document that you'll see here, this is the actual document. You go through it. On the left-hand side, you can see here the progression marker is PH3A3, so these are the progression markers written out here. This is for the phonological awareness literacy progression. So there are 5 different types. For the phonological awareness one, here is the first marker or identifier, and there are more in all of these, but we've just focused on one. So here would be the resource. You would click on that resource, and that's the routine module that we've made for your students. I've also aligned these to the Phonological Awareness Diagnostic, which is the Department of Education New South Wales assessment. So you can look through here and say, oh, they didn't get this one right. That means that they need this module. So there's 2 ways of working out where your students are. You can either look on this side over here and say, let me see this person in my class is, oh, they probably got their phonological awareness okay, but they still need to learn the vowel digraphs or something like that, and you go along to here and you find where that is, somewhere along here I would assume. Of course I've chosen the furthest one down, so that's really annoying, but you'll find it here and you'll go, okay, here we go, they're vowel digraphs, that's where they're at, and you would choose this module to start them off with. So alternatively, you will go to the Phonological Awareness Diagnostic and you'll say, oh, they can't yet blend 2 to 3 phonemes, and you can do it that way as well. So either look at the far left column or the far right column to give you an indicator. If you don't want to do the diagnostic, a really easy way to do it is just to listen to a student read and do a running record. You'll see at which point they start to falter in terms of decoding specific sounds, and you'll be able to plot them in terms of sounds when you're asking them questions. You'll also be able to see about sentence structure as well. If they're missing structural cues or not using structural cues to help them read new words, then you'll be able to see again that They probably need some sentence structure things there, and our sentence structure ones are in this document here. So those were the phonological awareness ones, and then in here we've got ones here. The reason they're in two different documents is we're in the process of converting all of this to an app. So here we have the other ones, and you will see here they've got some of the ones that we've already put in there, and they also have grammar and punctuation at the bottom, and we'll hope to move into comprehension sometime soon. That's going to take too long to load, so you can just trust me that there is grammar along here, and it will be, yeah, here we go. You know, do they, and remember you're looking at, do they do this consistently? So let's have a quick look at how you would schedule this in your class. You would say, okay, they do read. I've talked with a lot of people, and reading group seems to happen a lot consistently across all the grades. This is the bit where they're with the teacher, so that's really good. Keep them in that. If they're turning up for that, then great, let them do that. Then for English, I'm assuming that you have some sort of English module, which could be maybe, I know in year 4, for example, they're doing English and geography merged together. In other years, you might be doing English and your big ideas, such as narrative, or how things change over time, or those type of things. Let them be part of the video or the modelled lesson with the class. So if you're in class, it would be the bit where they're watching the slideshow and the video at the beginning, and you're talking as a class. And in home learning, they would be watching the video during style. Then get them to just tell you verbally, either recorded in style or seesaw, or verbally if you're in class, they can just tell you 3 things that they have learnt from that, just to see that they're getting some sort of concept from the information that they've just got. When the rest of the class then go and do their response to that English activity, that is when they would start working on their learning goals, and that's where I would give them one of the modules, and then I would give them a writing routine, which you can also look at. There is a link in here, and I'll send you this document. And there's a writing routine that has a graphic organizers throughout it, such as this, which they can print out, many of them or not. The routine is the same each day, so once they get used to it, all they'll need is the graphic organizers. This is just to help them familiarize themselves with the routine, but essentially you're making it very simple for them to change the books each day, and once they have changed the books, they can respond using their routine. Okay, first I go through drawing the characters, then I go through drawing the beginning, middle and end of the story. Now I know that the routine is finding words and drawing their meaning, and keep it really simple to begin with until they really understand the routine, and after that then you can start looking at them adding words in and that type of thing, because at the moment we just want them to engage with the text that is at their level and show their learning without it being too onerous on them. Here we have so here I've just written in they can do one module for 1 to 5 days and just play, because there's games they can play in it over and over again. Just make sure that they're doing sort of 15 minutes a day, and the way that you decide how often you give them a new module is that you put it into Style or Seesaw or Google Classroom, whatever you're using, and when they've completed it, they write complete, or they might give feedback on something like, I only got half done today, or that type of thing. And that means that you might just give it to them over 2 days, the exact same thing, or 3 days, whatever. You sort of judge that at the beginning based on how well they're going through. There's obviously plenty of them there. It's a huge library of resources, so there's lots there for them to do. And the writing routine is the same each day. The book just changes. It's all routine based, so the focus is on learning independence. There's audio included, so they don't even have to read the instructions. They can listen to the instructions, and the idea is that they're going to start being able to do the modules on their own and get some of that independent learning going. You want to start them on a marker that is below where they are, so one that they can do. This gives them the confidence and they can move forward. And you can also use it in terms of when you're reading books. You can in class you do an instructional level. You give an easy book for them to take home because you're just practicing that fluency and getting them that success. So you can do the same thing in this case, or if you choose to, you can work with them through a module if it's instructional for them. Here you've got maths at the end of the day, and they can either do Khan Academy or Mathletics or something progressive if they're unable to access the Learning Place maths program. So the purpose of me writing the routine like this is that some people are not completing tasks or they're finding it difficult to complete tasks. This is for those students. Let's just pare it right back and say the importance is they're working every day and doing something, and literacy and numeracy are our focus. So some notes: students with additional needs fatigue easily, so there's no point packing too much in a lesson because they won't retain it and they'll get very tired and overwhelmed. You provide plenty of brain breaks where possible. They need a routine to support their cognitive load, so the fact that they're doing the same thing every day, eventually they'll go, yep, I know how to do this graphic organizer. I know I need to just do the beginning, middle and end. The content of the book is changing each time, but the actual task isn't changing, so they don't have to think, what am I asked to do? Where do I get that from? How do I do that? And then they haven't got enough time to actually retain any of the facts. If they're doing sound waves, they can do the same level as their progression marker. So if they were at PKW5, phonic word knowledge, that one is, then and they were looking at the k sound in that progression, they could do their module for 15 minutes. You also have the opportunity, if you want, of giving them sound wave module that reinforces the same sound, if you just wanted them to do something extra to extend their day. But that would be up to you. Then they can also use this as a reading groups or daily 5 activity. When we go back to school, these can be used in a similar way to personalised learning, and I've been working individually with teachers to help them place students on the literacy progressions. So I am happy to help you do this. If you want to email me at this email address, simone.hirsch@det.newsouthwales.edu.au, I'm happy to help. So hopefully that has cleared some of it up, but I'm happy to help you further with this. Okay, have a great day.